I made a 50-inch touchscreen for under $400, but now it's time to step it up a notch. What's up, everybody? I'm the Derek Frank, and today I'm going to be replacing my old DIY 50-inch touchscreen panel with a brand new one. Now, my old panel that I did was an infrared frame that I got on Amazon. You can get it too. I've got links down below, and you can see my old video on how I did that. They run anywhere from $200 to $500 depending on the size that you need. But now I'm gonna really step up my game and do something completely different. The folks at YFTouch reached out to me and said they wanted me to try their new panel. This isn't a paid sponsorship, but they did send me this at no cost. Now, this panel is different because it's a full piece of glass that has integrated touch into it. The one that I had was infrared, so it basically set up a giant grid of infrared beams, and that's how your touch was inputted. Now, this one is more like your cell phone touchscreen, where wherever you touch, it's a lot more accurate and a lot more responsive. At least that's the way it's supposed to work. I have no idea how this is going to work because they don't really sell these to consumers the way that the infrared frames are sold on Amazon. So this arrived in a big wooden box, and when I opened it up, it had the big glass panel and then two extra pieces. One of them was a PCB board that had to go into the glass panel, and then one was a USB cable that had to go into the PCB board. So I ripped off the old frame from my 50-inch TV that I have in my custom-built desk, and I started to retrofit this. That's when I realized I had a little bit of a problem. While the screen that they sent me is a 50-inch touchscreen, the bevel is actually a lot wider than what I had before. I imagine the reason that this has a larger bevel is because of the touch input. Now, I'm not 100% sure, but that's what I'm assuming. So I had to do a little bit of a modification on my desk. But let's check out how we did this. As you can see, the screen is already on here. I haven't taken the plastic off yet. But the problem was that this has to actually sit over my screen unless I want to actually modify my desk again. So I had the idea of getting this lined up and then securing it to the bottom. And then what I can do later is I can kind of fix where I had the double-sided tape. I can take that off later. I'm not too worried about that right now. I tried to kind of take it off, but it was a little bit more work than I expected. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead, put some gloves on, and pull this film off. And the reason I'm putting gloves on is because I wanna make sure that I don't put any fingerprints or smudges in here. So there's two different pieces of film on this, and I gotta be careful doing this. Now I've got the film peeled off of here, and this isn't plugged in yet, but you can see how nice this looks, and it's nice and clean. But again, the problem is that this is bigger than the frame that I had, so getting it adjusted right without modifying my desk is a big thing. And also getting this to not slide is going to be an issue. So I'm just gonna take a couple screws and mount these down in here and hope that it doesn't slide too much. Also have to be careful because this is like a tempered glass, so you don't want to screw into there and chip it, because then it'll be like a windshield that gets chipped and it'll just continue to splinter. So let's make sure we're in a good position here. This thing is very easy to slide back and forth. And this is all assuming that once I plug it in, it's going to work. Okay, there's one screw. And again, I'm not screwing that all the way down into the frame. I'm just doing this so it doesn't slide down. Now, there's a lot better ways that I could mount this, like using double-sided tape like I did with my other one. But again, I don't want to have to modify my desk at this time. I might do that later down the road, but we're gonna keep it this way for now. So I'm gonna go ahead and connect these ribbon cables to this PCB board, and I'll get right back with you. Now I have the ribbon cables hooked up to the PCB. That was actually really easy. There's just these two black tabs that are up there. And once you get the ribbon cable in place, you just click those tabs down. And then we hook up the USB cable right there, and that'll run to the computer. And you can see my rat's nest of cables. Now's the real moment of truth. I'm gonna hook up the USB cable and hope that this recognizes without me having to go in and do a bunch of stuff. I did have to use a cable extender because the USB cable that came with it's pretty short. So hopefully that's not an issue too. I know sometimes when you have to extend cables for devices like this, it causes a problem. So fingers crossed, here we go. Oh. Okay, that's a good sign. I heard a beep. Now, here's the real test. Oh my gosh. This is amazing. It works already. So I haven't calibrated anything. This is the first time plugging it in, and it already works. This is incredible. Now we're gonna calibrate this so that the touch is much more responsive and more accurate to what you're doing. So what you have to do is go into your settings menu and then type in calibrate, and calibrate screen for pen or touch input. Then you have to click the correct monitor. So since I'm using multiple monitors and the touch screen is only set up on this one, I need to make sure I use that right screen. Then you hit calibrate and go in here. So you'll have some crosshairs that pop up. And once they do, you want to make sure you hit those. And what that's doing is giving you a more accurate representation of where your touch is. And save that. All right, so now, ideally, this should work really well, and it seems like it is already. So I'm gonna go ahead and launch my Studio One, and we're gonna see how this works. So let's test this thing out. As you can see, it's super responsive. You can use multiple touch. And the thing that is really great about this is that it is so much faster than the infrared. Like, this is like using a cell phone. So what do I think of this screen versus the infrared? Well, there's major pros for this one and yet to see any cons. So here's my takeaway on this new screen. With it being actual glass, it is so much faster and so much more responsive that with the infrared, you had a lot of lag and the accuracy was pretty good, but it wasn't amazing. Where this one, it is so spot on perfect, and I actually have a little bit too much of a gap in between the actual glass and my screen because of my desk setup, but I'm not noticing any problems once I calibrated that. The other thing that is an absolute game changer with this versus my other setup is my other setup, in order to keep it safe, I had to put a piece of plexiglass on there. Plexiglass gets really hazy and scuffs easily, whereas this is a tempered glass and it is crystal clear. So being able to see my screen that much better and not have all the glare that the plexiglass had is a major thumbs up. If you want some more info, make sure you click down below and check out my friends at YFTouch. Again, thank you to them for sending this thing. This was so easy to install. I literally just set it on there, plugged in the PCB board and USB into the computer, and it immediately recognized. I didn't have to install any software. I didn't have to do any coding or anything. The only thing that I did to make it that much better was to calibrate it in Windows itself. But again, there's no external software. I didn't even have to do any driver downloads. The fact that I took this out of the shipping crate, put it on here, and had it working in a few minutes is absolutely incredible and blows my mind. This was way easier to install than the infrared frame and way more accurate. So if you have any questions, make sure you leave them in the comments below. Check out my other video. But if you want to see more about this, let me know and hit me up on all my socials. Thanks, we'll see you next time.